All right, so we're here with Tom Centore, head coach of the Cranston East Thunderbolts, and we're getting ready to come into the Rhode Island varsity football season. And Tom and I have been talking already for a good half hour. We love to talk football, and so I want to give him a chance to be able to talk about his team, talk about his accomplishments in the past few years, tell everybody where his team is at, and what he thinks his season's going to look like this year. So welcome, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you. Tom's also been on the high school sports rap with Ron Robert radio show. He's a class act and always fun to have on. So Tom, let's talk about your season coming up. Let's talk about the kids that you have, and maybe the past couple seasons. I know you guys have had some success.
Yeah, but we've been fortunate. We have a great group of kids that are in the school. Great coaching staff, been together a long time, so that's a big plus as well to get the kids out. And we've been fortunate. We've had some good run. We had a good year last year. We were, overall we were 9-2. We were in our league. We were 6-1, and we had competitive games. We got to the quarterfinal game. We lost to a great Portsmouth football team, and and we've been in the playoffs. The only year we haven't been in the playoffs in the last couple of years was 2015. I think that's a tribute to the kids and the coaching staff that we have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I've been following you guys, and you're definitely strong. What I wanted to ask you to do is, we were having this discussion about how they break up the divisions in Rhode Island. What we're trying, a lot of this broadcast and a lot of the things that we do on the radio show as well is to kind of educate the people in Rhode Island about how high school sports really work. There's a lot that goes into this, right? So how do the divisions work? Like, let's say D1. How do they break it up and figure out who's going where?
Well, basically what they've done, and they've done it for a long time, there have been various changes throughout the years, is it's called a power rating. And there's a formula that they use breaking down wins and losses, size of school, playoff appearances, playoff successes. And, that's a big part of what they do. And so they rank in football, and they may do it in other sports, but in football, for sure, they rank teams 1 to 42 based on the number of schools.
So there's 42 teams?
42 now. There used to be 43, obviously, with the combination of losing Warwick vets.
Right.
Now we're down to 42, and they rank them 1 to 42 based on. Now we're down to 3 divisions. There used to be 4, but basically you rank them 1 to 14 because it's a 14-team Division 1, or they rank them 1 through 42, and that's how the divisions are ranked generally. So you have top 14 will be in Division 1, or top 16 in Division 2, and so on.
And now, so it goes D1A, D1B.
1A, 1B, and there's no.
It doesn't mean A or B is better. It's just breaking it up.
Break it down. They try to balance it. They scale it where they rank them. They do what they call a snake scale, where one ends up on one side, 2 and 3. 4 and 5, and they try to make sure that it's a balanced league, so you're not playing all the top teams on one side and all the the bottom teams are not on the other side of the division.
All right, great. So I think that's educational for people to understand. And a lot of people scratch their heads sometimes and say, "Oh, D1A must be better," but that's not really what it is. I mean, D1 is D1, and they break it up and they split it up into sides. So let's talk about your team now. So we got the 2017 season coming up, and I know you got a couple new additions to your team, right? And so what are you looking like? Who's coming on board? Who's going to be some impact players?
Well, I think one of the things looking back is certainly the returning players. We did lose. We lost some kids last year. We lost Jay Bast and Malik Gavitt, Jake Palazzo, and Brendan Lanigan, along with some other guys who were integral parts and played roles. But we returned close to 65 to 68 players. But, a number of kids who started. About 3 years now, some of them. We have probably the strength of our team to start is our offensive line, defensive line. We've got a number of 3-year starters coming back. So that's certainly going to help. You always want to have good linemen. You want to be deep in the linemen, because that's where you win games up front. And we have our quarterback returning. We threw 26 touchdown passes last year. We have one of our top wide receivers, or 2 of our top wide receivers, Isaiah Hines and Robinson Antoine, are returning. Like I said, Justin Neary, our starting quarterback's back, and then certainly, with the addition of Raven De Oliveira, who hopefully will help us a little bit. It helps a lot when we get going, and he's a versatile kid who can play quarterback, like receiver, like defensive back. So they're going to help. Certainly going to help us. But I like the group that we have returning. We have a number of veteran guys that'll help us. And again, that doesn't always translate to wins. It doesn't always mean that, but you hope with the experience it will help us. So.
Yeah. So I mean, now we're talking about a team that you were basically one win away rather from going to the consolation finals, right? Or even having a chance to play in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because you lost to Portsmouth, right? And it was a tight game.
It was a tight game.
Tight game, and now you're returning. How many seniors, like exactly, or how many starters from that team?
Last year, we're returning 8 defensive starters, and we're returning 8 offensive starters as well.
Yeah. So returning 8 offensive starters and 8 defensive starters from a team that had a shot at going to the Super Bowl last year, plus with the addition of a couple of dynamic impact players. You guys are looking strong.
Should be competitive. That's the most important thing.
Should be competitive. See, now my buddy Tommy is very humble, all right? So they're going to be a little more than competitive, I'm sure. But okay, great. Well, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we look forward to the season. Maybe get out to the games and interview you guys after or before a few games. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Ron.
I just have this feeling you guys are going to have an awesome season this year.
I hope so. I think there's a chance for us to be pretty good.
All right. Well, this is Coach Tom Centore from the Cranston East Thunderbolts. Always love talking to Tom, class act. And, one thing about Tom that I know is his kids love playing for him. I hear it all the time. This guy's a respectable guy. So, good luck to them. I think they're going to have a great season, and we'll be watching you. So this is Ron Robert from the High School Sports Wrap with Ron Robert and now SFBN, the Sports Fan Base Network. And you can go to the sportsfanbasenetwork.com. There's going to be a SFBN Rhode Island page and all these interviews, and we're going to have games and highlights and everything. So, this is new. Tom's our first interview, and we're glad to have him. But this is going to be big for Rhode Island, I hope, and we're going to try and do everybody justice. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.